Alright, welcome back everybody to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time we left off, we had done a dungeon, and we had gotten back here to the Annex to slow down a bit. So let's see what happens next, shall we? Oh, we got our new weapon coffer here. We should actually be able to equip this one, I imagine. Oh, there we are, feeling refreshed, I hope. And we're at level 82 quest, I saw. I was about to make my way to the studium, as it happens. I wanted to try and speak of Solorek Montecheranin and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come to see us following the hearing, only to find out that we'd already departed for Thavanar. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud of his former students. Since we're still waiting for Still and the others, I thought now would be a perfect time to pay him a visit. Should care to join me? And it's settled, the twins will be coming too. Assuming Alphalot can tear himself away from his new toys, I'll let you ride the troops while I go ahead to the phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them will not be long. That works out. And you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and change out minions now, because we've had Ian for a little bit, but I also wanted to show off the new ones that we got, so... They're on the second page, so we'll go with the older one we got with the pre-order. Pollen, I guess it is, because the other one has the green thing. So Borm is the newer one we got. But yeah, we'll go ahead and have them for the expansions, and once we reach like level 85 or so, or level 86 or something like that, give them about half each, I guess. So we're 82 now, so 86 sounds about right. Heading out for a stroll. The Scarlet himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphanot, of all people worrying about over his reputation, and at our alma mater, no less, would wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. I'm assuming we can just head off this way and, oh, why am I checking either compasses here? There's none here at the hub city. We got the fleet-footed effect again, which is really nice to have. I think this is a very big hub city to, wander around in, so it's really nice to have 30 seconds of sprint instead of, like, 15 or whatever it is. Here it is, Ramadan. Well, I expect you to make note of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the place is taken up by expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories and testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what could later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomenon, hence the name. Though if ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. And then in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete, and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. Of a long storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in etherology. The arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields stand proud as Charlenian's foremost educational institute. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited the same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and etherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphanot actually entered a half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I'm certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in a shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this is where the legend of Alphanot Levenor began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of his recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcomed here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphanod, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scarlet Montachai. Often, faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wherever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. I think we've gotten all these, right? Yeah, we have, okay. No worries then. That was Alphanod Levanor, wasn't it? The Alphanod Levanor? And he's with his sister and Master Balthion's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. The event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Oh, sorry, you said you're looking for the Scarlet, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Alpapo should have a better idea. Do I need any mending? No, I don't. Okay. What do you sell here, actually? I'm curious. Okay, just a myriad of, different things, I guess. That's neat. You lost. Wander off in the street, perhaps. Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is order. Ahem. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What's the most important thing you find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal here in Searcher's Meet. Wherever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the quests we get. Eye Piazza this, Tongue of Gigantoad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. And as our newest gleaner, you'll have to work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information on the Scarlark's whereabouts. I beg your pardon, you're not a gleaner, then this was all a elaborate ruse? No, wait, come to think of it, you never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory sort, home to many rare and expensive curios. Not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. And the time it's taken me to tell you all this, the scholar has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those quests, huh? Over here? Okay. Yes, the Scarlet was here just a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. When we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted away, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums. Okay, so we missed him again. If we hurry along, maybe we'll eventually catch his trail. Ah, is this him?
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat. We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Corporal ether?
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh umbral calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Garlian prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Garlian, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
And that quest is done. That's a neat way to be able to, like, be able to erase things on paper itself off the marker like that. I think talking to the other person, like, I think might be more towards crafting stuff. So I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Let me go ahead and get the sword and shield. Yep, that is indeed a better set. Though it's a bit plain, to be honest, compared to what we had. But I'll wear it for now. That puts us at 516 now, at least. Alright. We got the chest gear already coming up. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we've one step closer to understanding the form's true motives, and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the Annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Kui Alipo, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings of Raha. It's actually a very big shield, now that I look at it. I do like the fact that it's a bigger shield. Yeah, I can't actually do anything because I'm pretty sure this is a crafting thing, isn't it? Yep. I was correct. Which is one of the things I'm probably going to be going after I'm done with the Endwalker story, is probably going into another battle class and a crafting class. Kind of get my stuff spread out, because before I've always been playing catch up, but finally I'm at the point where I can stop and do other stuff, really. It really does seem like it turns the night way more often now. I don't know. Okay, I guess we're heading in here. Actually, isn't the other spot my, like, place where I can maybe dump some of my inventory off? Because, kind of need to do that. More so on my armor stuff, really. Oh, I guess I can actually do that here, huh? Or maybe I have to talk to this guy, let me see. Okay, here we go. Glamour Dresser, okay, yeah. Trying to remember what exactly I'll have here. This? I can store it in here, let me see. Let's go ahead and put all that in there. So I put some of that stuff in there at least. I guess I don't really need that. I honestly just will need to, like, make more of an effort to get this, settled out at some point, I think. Just a lot of stuff, I don't really... Have anything in the toy chest? Oh, I guess I do, okay. It doesn't seem like they had a Halloween event this time around, again. So it's the second time around, I guess they didn't have a Halloween event. But I think they're gonna still have a winter event, so that should be coming up soon for me. Oh, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you're away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the Warring Scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Cup of Erosia and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa and Limosia. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that just seems to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let's see what waits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain, though. Vitra and the alchemists did the great work, but they're heart and soul in each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I'd like to escape the Forum's watchful gaze, I have no choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as an official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I wait word from Master Matoya and the other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide's about to turn, I can feel it. To Limsa and Limosia. Wonder how many people we're going to see there. Let's go ahead and just teleport over there then. I did notice they finally got rid of the 999 gil limit on teleportation. This way I'm heading. I think people just haven't fully loaded in yet. Alright. Oh, there he is already. I was expecting him to be a while. Admiral is present entertaining the elder seats here in the Sultana. So everybody's here. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? My apologies for calling you away from Garlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only right that the discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition, our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it's only a matter of time before we're overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action. We've taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all of accord. But might I ask what the plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Garlian, the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, the surge in abductions of kobolds, Syaoranvee, XL, and Anetia have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Radzahan has given us cause to hope once more. Time has come to free ourselves of this menace. It is you, the Scions of the Summoned Dawn, who have shown us the way. But the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Teferi at bay. We are dispatching our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Illsabad continent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Teferi's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for the strategic or political gain, but because it's the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest that we simply choose to forget and forgive. As only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Syaoranvee observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what is to come. Until the Tower of Azat was toppled, we feared to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Teferi. There's certainly no rush to press further into our lands. I wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. They appear to be substantiated by Ystola's Annis the Tower's influence in ethereal currents. Based on our observations inside the Tower of Azat, the Spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be assured it's not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me the least if it's being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that, regardless once we have uncovered the truth. We'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what do you have us do? I assume it's more than handing out the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Illsabad contingent. Consider an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you'd be the one to answer that. For the people of Garlemald. Couldn't have put it better myself. Ystola, Thancred, and Syaoranvee have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you'd come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you've delivered the wearing skills to Elimigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Illsabad. Reborn and Lord Ermic are also seeing preparations, so suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Teferi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge that Eorzea will be as left or better upon your return. We're finally doing it. We're heading to Garlemald. I've always been interested in going to Garlemald and to the southern continent, Miracidia. It was actually talked about a little bit during our trip to Lambrithos. And those are the two places I was always particularly interested in going to, so... Okay, we're heading to the Alamegan quarters. We may as well just teleport. Where is it on here? Here it is, okay. There we go. I should be able to fly here, so let's go and see. Well, yeah, that looks pretty nice. Fancy Pegasus. It's been a minute since we've seen Reborn. Now the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warning sails of yours is what made this whole venture possible. Will you and your Eremic be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we've seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. Just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Illsabad contingent. Very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemies' lines to render aid onto the Garlians has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Certainly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd rather be at your side, charging to the fray. Unless I have battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. Hate to say it, but Lord Eremic's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind for knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Illsabad, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Much has occurred since we parted ways in Wurt. From what I gather, the protective talismans you've attained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on the occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us. Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telephore I've laid waste to my homeland and saved my people. But every mode of my being cries for vengeance. I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Illsabad contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our moments. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I'm branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I will only hinder your efforts. I doubt they'll be pleased to see the champion of Eorzea set foot on Garlian soil. Fair point, but so long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all and sundry, the average person should have no inkling as to your identity. Although your titles and deeds are common knowledge, only a select few would recognize you on sight alone. Perhaps one day they will learn the Warrior of Light is not a demon to be feared, but a woman deserving of their trust. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. May I ask you to escort our friends inside? I may even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you here again ere you part, may the Fury guide and protect you. All of you. let's go ahead and get our chess piece, I guess. Oh, we got a card from our dungeon. Okay. Go ahead and get that as well if we can. Here we are. We're getting more powerful by the moment. Some sort of box. The other members of the Illsabad contingent have gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you're ready. I wonder if we're gonna have Fort Dorline there. Yeah, go ahead and let me inside.
By the 12.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Illsabad contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. For the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hilfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. Then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Illsabad contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinard foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolain?
Ah, yes. Emanolain de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
Your graceful prancing lead the way to victory.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honohua with my tales of daring-do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garlians, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Werlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are, or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this race.
Lingering concerns I may have were clearly unwarranted, with everything you said.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlian capital in northern Illsabad, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garland Iron sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glacies. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.